Huntington's disease, also known as HD, is a genetic disorder that causes the nerve cells in the brain to break down. This means that the disease can only be passed from parent to child.
Symptoms only start to show up around 35 to 50 years of age, but in rare cases can show up before the age of 20. No symptoms usually show up until the disease's later stages.
The symptoms come in stages and will slowly get worse as the disease progresses. This flows with age. Starting symptoms may be falling or tripping every now and then, yet the symptoms get worse and more frequent, like slurring of speech and loss of muscle control. It eventually does lead to death.
In its later stages, the disease is fatal. About 30,000 Americans are affected by HD. HD affects the brain in the basal ganglia location, and the allele is a dominant allele, so that means if one parent has the disease, the child's all have a 50% chance of inheriting the disease.
The symptoms of the disease don't show up until later stages, so someone cannot know they have HD until 30 to 50 years of age. There is a test that can be taken to see if you have the disease once you are 18 years old. Because the symptoms are not shown in early life, someone could have a child with no knowledge of the disease, but then find out they have HD, and then their child would have a 50% chance of inheriting HD because it is dominant. However, if the child does not have the disease, then they will not pass the genetic disease to their children.
Usually, people with Huntington's disease have an average lifespan of 15 to 20 years after they develop the symptoms.
Symptoms for adult Huntington's disease include involuntary muscle movements, loss of muscle control, serious mental issues, psychological disorders such as bipolar disorders, and extreme cases of depression, speech impairment, eye movement issues, impaired walking ability, loss of ability to control talking and swallowing, and death usually occurs within 10 to 30 years after symptoms first show.
Juvenile symptoms of HD include a large decline of academic ability, severe behavioral problems, involuntary movements, and in rare cases, seizures may randomly occur.
Currently, there are no treatments for the Huntington's disease, but there are treatments for the symptoms of the disease. For depression, there's antidepressants, and there's a medicine to slow down mood swings, and another medicine to reduce uncontrolled muscle movement.
Huntington's disease is named for scientist George Huntington, who found it among the residents of East Hampton, Long Island in 1872. In 1993, a group of scientists discovered the gene that causes HD, and they realized that it was a CAG repeat sequence located on chromosome 4. With this discovery of it being a CAG repeat sequence, it is now possible to diagnose HD with blood or tissue samples.
In the fourth chromosome of Huntington's disease, shown on the karyotype, there is a repeat of one chemical code. Normally, there are 17 to 20 repetitions of this chemical code for the Huntington gene. It is caused by the expanding of a nucleotide triplet repeat, which involves the insertion of CAG trinucleotide repeat. The DNA of Huntington's disease is already present during interphase before meiosis occurs. Therefore, it is replicated similar to regular DNA.
Huntington's affects every 5 out of 100,000 people. Huntington's can often be seen and located with MRI and CT scans. The mutation in HD is called a triplet expansion mutation.